gems. Thank you, students, for being here on time. As usual, we can always expect some small glitches when we go live and with the technology. So even though we teach technology, we always have these problems. Let me start by introducing myself, introducing SAE, what we do, what are the opportunities that we have for you, graduating students or students who are still in grade 11, 10, so still at school, but would like to explore the field of media production. I believe that we have 8 students with me. I'm not sure if you are all muted or if you, so for now, if you want, we can do it that way. So I'll start presenting. And then it's either you can ask your questions on the chat, or we can have at the end a small discussion between us. I would love to hear your voices, to hear your feedback, to hear your, to know what are your plans to moving forward in life, career options, study options, and ask all your questions. And I'm here to help you. So first of all, we'll go through a presentation. I know that I'll be taking you through some slides and probably you're fed up of seeing slides, but I promise you that it's going to be fun. And also I promise you that I'll be showing you some videos about SAE. So it's not going to be lots of talking. I assume that some of you heard about us. Some of you got interested with the programs that we offer because it's the exciting field of media production. Yes, and this is our main focus. So SAE is a university. We have been present in UAE for the past 15 years. We have been present in the world for 45 years. And the thing that we teach is, as I mentioned, media production. Let me start by sharing my presentation, and from there we will go to more details about that. Okay, so who we are. First of all, what you see in front of you with this is our logo, and these are our guidelines. These are our colors. So what you can see under our logo are these small icons that show animation, audio, design, film, and games. And I'm sure that all of you guessed that these are the programs that we offer. So when we say media production, so that takes us to an exciting field of technology, but also of creativity. I'm sorry, but I think that I'm sharing another presentation. Just 1 second. Let me get you the correct one. Sorry for the mess. But apparently when I was scrolling in my documents, it got yes. Can you see it now? Yeah, you can see my screen. I'm going to ask you, for the one who are unmuted, just to mute your mics, because it's I can hear lots of noise in the background. So SAE Institute, this is the agenda for today. We're going to talk about the university. We're going to talk about the bachelor degrees, Dubai campus. I'm not going to take you through the tuition fee. Probably this is something that will be interesting to your parents. We're going to go briefly through it. But what are the entry requirements? What are the opportunities that we offer for you as students once you join us for higher education, in terms of study and work, but also the connection with the industry. We discussed the university pathway programs. So this is linked, or this is because of the fact that we are a global university with branches around the world. So university pathway, it means also students transfer, orientation, and let me move myself. So who we are. So SAE is let's call it an educator, or to be more specific, one of the pioneering educators in the field of media production. So we do have 47 campuses and we are present in 23 countries. So our main focus has been, since our inception or establishment, is to set the benchmark of media production. So when we started back in 1976, we started at the School of Audio Engineering. We had a very small campus that we had, it was like this, the campus was initially a studio. The studio that then we transformed into a campus, and we started with our first majors, which is audio. And that's what explains the name that we have. It's like SAE. We go now only by the initials, but it used to stand for School of Audio Engineering. I'm not sure how many of you are interested in audio, but this is something that is very close to our hearts as a degree. But again, so we are one of the very few universities that teach audio production as a bachelor degree. So from having like a small studio in Sydney, we started expanding in locations, but also we started expanding in majors. So after audio, we introduced animation, design, film, and games. And we work very closely with the industry, because I'm sure you know that when we say media production or digital production, so these are like very fast moving industries. So we have always to follow trends. And I'm sure that you know that everything that is being done now in terms of content creation, so this is a word that you will keep on hearing when we talk about media field. So it's content creation, how you create that content. It can be on the audio side, on the visual side, but also like mainly on the creative side. So that's why we have to keep ourselves very close to the industry. So with the 47 campuses, Dubai is one of those ones, and we are proud to be home for more than 400 students. And we make sure that our students, they receive an outstanding education through an internationally recognized qualifications. Now, again, these are our logos that we go by. So whenever like you see one of those on the streets or on a website, so you can immediately, or like on social media, you can immediately like recognize the field that we are talking about. So as I mentioned, for key facts, so it's like our broad and large presence around in the world. So we cover the globe, let's say. More campuses exist in Australia, in UK, in almost like every country in Europe, and in the Middle East. So we are present in UAE, and we also have a campus in Jordan. We do have facilities that are a bit different from what other universities have. Why? Because our programs are different. Our mindset is different. So you can imagine that when you're discussing creativity, it has to reflect in our location, in our facility. And this is something also that we have noticed in some of the GEM schools, especially the ones who are running the enrichment programs. I remember going to DAA when they launched the Artificial Intelligence Center of Excellence. And when you go there, you feel that you stepped out of an education environment and you are really going into the future. So yes, it reflects what you are talking about. And this is the same for SAE. When you get in, you see that we don't have like normal classrooms. We don't have that normal seating area, but we work mostly in studios. We have labs. We have an animation lab. We have a design lab, green screen room. Our audio studios, the 6 of them, are very well equipped. And this is what also, as I mentioned, reflects creativity. We have like a very big emphasis on work integrated learning. And this is obvious because when we say audio or film or animation, we're not like talking theory. Theory, of course, it exists because at the end of the day, these are bachelor degrees. But what is important is like, show me the work that you're doing. Show me what you are learning. So how is this reflected in a portfolio that you start building at the very early stages of your academic life at SAE? And we are also very proud of our track record of student success. in our social media. I hope that you can also like follow us on Instagram or on Facebook. TikTok is like will be there, but we always showcase students' success and students' work. When it comes to accreditation, since we are part of Australia's campus, Dubai is considered a branch of Australia. So we offer the Australian accreditation, which is TEQSA, the Tertiary Education Quality Standard Agency that recognizes all university degrees and undergraduate, but also postgraduate degrees. And in UAE, we also have the KHDA accreditation. I'm sure that you are all familiar with it. Now, when we talk about like our bachelor degrees, we have 5 majors that we teach, and it's very important to focus on the fact that we have 5 majors, because it says that for SAE, the different branches and all the academics and practitioners that work with SAE, they have a very small, like it's like a focus on specific areas. So all our expertise comes into these 5 different mainstreams. And this is what's also, let's say, using experts or industry experts add to this creativity. So it gives us lots of push within the curriculum itself. So when we say a Bachelor of Animation, I don't know how many of you are interested in animation, but this is like one of the most growing fields. In fact, the 5 majors are pretty much growing. Last week I had a webinar session just like discussing the growth of the media industry. I know that for some of you it might be a challenge, especially if you are discussing this field with your parents. Most of our parents and like family members, they are still somehow conventional when it comes to the education. I'm sure that if you have discussed the creative field, your parents would say, okay, fine, go find something that is more secure and you can do animation or you can do audio. But in fact, these are very secure because of, and this can be proven with numbers that show the growth that we are facing in each of these industries or in each of these fields. So for the animation, for example, so for what comes to your mind is like, okay, fine. So we do 2D, we do 3D, and then we will render it. We will do texturing. We can do this work just like to use it in different movies or just like to post it in cinema or in TV. However, the animation field is growing to an extent that it's becoming part of different sectors in the world. So for example, healthcare now uses animation. Engineers, they do use animation. Educators, they need animation. So different fields that can be related to media production or not related to media production are now relying a lot on animation. So you will know about, so what we offer at SAE is more into the 3D modeling. So we focus a lot on 3D, 2D is part of it. But again, rendering, compositing are the things that you need to do in order to have your animation product or like animation work produced. The bachelor degree for animation goes over a duration of 3 years. In audio also, so this is something that we have been working or teaching for the past 45 years. As I mentioned, this is the first degree that we started with. And in fact, it's an amazing industry. I'm sure that for all of you, whenever like you feel at any point of your life, you feel happy, you feel stressed, you feel anxious, you feel sad, so you will rely on music. And in fact, what we teach at SAE is not the fact of learning how to make melodies or like how to sing. No, it's like learning how you can produce that music. So this is where you will spend the 3 years of your education at SAE in the studios. So you will start by learning about sound, and he will make the difference between sound and between audio. So sound is everything that is natural. what you hear, what comes out of your mouth, what comes out of like knocking on wood or on something that is solid. So this is how it comes as a sound, because it's very pure. And then audio starts whenever you start adding engine and equipments that will work around that sound that is created. So at SAE, we cherish that. We have the full equipments for it. You start your education with having like a general information about the audio field, and then you get to choose your specialization. So do you want to specialize in production, so in studio work, in live sounds, in concerts, for example, so that you can be present in all these big events and work on the effects that audio creates, or do you want to focus on post-production? Every degree at SAE is also linked to a specialization that you at start, like at the beginning, whenever you join one of the degree, you will have like a general 2 trimesters where you will learn the fundamentals of what this degree offers, and then you move on to your specialization. And I'm happy to announce that we started our first collaboration with GEMS School by providing an audio enrichment programs. Now, the Bachelor of Design is a very broad program, because design is like in a very simple sentence, it's visual communication. So everything that is linked on making things look or attract visually or explain a specific product or a message. So this is graphic design. Everything that you see around you is graphic design. So what I have here on my screen, this slides, these the colors that we've used, the logos that we have, the font that we are using, it's part of graphic design. So when you study graphic design, the first thing that you do is like learn how to give identity to a product, give identity to a message, give an identity to a campaign. So that's why it's like when you're having a child. So you have like something small, you give him its identity, it starts growing. Similar with graphic design. So you have a product, you have an idea, and then you start giving it its logo. So this is the name. And you start recognizing logo. It's very important. Like it's fun. We have like very nice exercises that we do. So or like it's like not exercise, but just like we play. We show you logos, and then immediately you will recognize the brand, because it comes and it gets into your mind so that you don't forget it. And graphic design or logos cannot like only be with the visuals that you create, but sometimes it can be related to audio. So I'm sure that as soon as you hear the sound of Doom music, or for example the McDonald's, so you immediately recognize it because it's like their identity. Also, it's a 3-year full-time degree at SAE. We have grown pretty much when it comes to design. It is broad, as I mentioned, because every business in the world needs designers. Yeah, because they give it its, they do the brandings. So wherever you go, your school, in every office, there's like a graphic design. And in terms of having like a broad exposure, yes, it does. And there's a big, let's say, a big input that is done worldwide. But let me give you the example of UAE and Dubai about the budgets that are put in order to grow the design field. So million or billion of dirhams are being given to enrich this field. And the same applies for the field of film. Of course, you have noticed that lately in UAE we have been like hosting lots of film crews that came here. They want to do their filming, the shooting. So what they relied on is lots of human interaction with Dubai people or students who are working in the filming industry. And again, with the same what I mentioned about the design field in terms of having lots of push and support from private and public entities. It applies also to film. So there are like big budgets that have been put in order to support international movies, but also in order to support local content. So when we talk about film, I think that this is the easiest thing for you to understand how it goes, because we are all exposed to films. Yeah, we all go to the movies, we all see ads that run on TV, in the cinemas, or now like mostly on social media. So when you start your degrees at SAE, when you do film, you go through the different aspects of filmmaking. So how do we make a film? So you would cover from the moment you get that idea of having that film, to script writing, to cinematography, to the actual filming, and then you move to the post-production. And for each of these aspects of filming, there are lots of softwares, but also equipments that are related to it. And everything is provided at SAE. Now, there is one thing that I would like to mention. So even like when we talk about your life, or like student life cycle at SAE, so when you start with your degree, of course, you're starting like as being a student, you consider yourself as a student. But as soon as you reach your third trimester, things will start to change. So from someone who's studying at university, you're going to feel that, oh no, I feel that I'm more working in a production studio, or I'm being part of that crew because we do have this film or ad that we need to produce. So this is where we talk about like a simulation that happens at SAE. And you can feel it. You can feel that simulation stage where SAE will become more of being your company, your studio, where your instructors and teachers are becoming your managers. Your the other students, your friends, are becoming this is your crew. And this is where we rely a lot on your creativity. And we keep it pretty much open. And the instructors that you are working with are all still in the industry. So for example, if I take since we are talking about like film, all the senior instructors are like award winners, but every one of them is an award winner in a specific area of filming. It can be documentary, it can be short movies. So they bring in all their expertise so that you can benefit from their experience. And I'm telling you about like experience because there are lots of challenges that you can face. And this is something that we can discuss later on. Because once you graduate from SAE, yes, it is true that you are well equipped. However, you have moved from being like that students studying fundamentals until like you have reached your final project at SAE, which is very similar to what professionals do in the industry. However, once you graduate, you're going to start also from the fundamentals of in work. So we have like students who say that, okay, I graduated and now I'm a director. No, my friend, you cannot say I graduated and now I'm becoming a director. You have to take it, you take the ladder and accept it to grow on a step-by-step basis. The Bachelor of Film, the Bachelor of Games, okay, now in terms of growth, this is the most growing industry. So of course, like when you say games, some parents will just like think, oh, games, I'm gonna like spend lots of time in front of my laptop or in front of my computer, just like playing games. No, it takes more than this. So games is like you are learning how to develop games, how to design games. It's an amazing field on its own because it can take you to so many branches of creating games, of development that are related to artificial intelligence. So this is where you will learn about virtual reality, augmented reality, engines that you will be discovering. And this is what it's like the outcome. It's mind-blowing. So you want to specialize either in games development or in games design. And from there, you work with your instructors very closely. And you work on lots of softwares that we offer to students. The curriculum is quite heavy. But again, so this is needed because the industry is very competitive. And you can know that like, there are lots of, I'm sure that you can give me names of and titles of games that even I cannot think about, because all of us play games. But now what you will do with this degree is like learn how to create those games. Again, the duration of the bachelor degree is 3 years. As I mentioned to you, SAE campus. So these are like some pictures of our campus in Dubai, the facilities. We have the recording studios, so hopefully like once you will visit us, you can check by yourselves those facilities, from editing suites to green screen room, to a photography studio, to the lighting rig, analog and digital equipments that are in on campus. The tuition fee, it's like, let's just like mention it for the students who are interested. It's composed of a registration fee, an equipment fee, because you will use all SAE equipments. For any degree that you will be joining, you don't have to purchase equipment. There are softwares that you need to install. However, all the rest is provided by us. A yearly fee of 51,975 that you have to pay every year, so that it covers the 3 years of education. Now, we at SAE, we also offer opportunities for students to study and work. So it can be working, assisting SAE departments, but also you can apply, students can apply for part-time work so that they can have their first trials within the industry. So you can collaborate with the Dubai Creative Media Industries that permit students who are still studying in university to have their work experience. When it comes to scholarships, so we also recognize students' work and their academic achievement at school. So you can apply for academic achievement scholarship. Also, you can benefit from the GEMS scholarship of 15% on your education of the first year. You can apply also for a series of scholarships that can be based. So the academic excellence scholarship that you can get at the beginning, or that you can know about as soon as you apply to SAE, is something that is related to your school achievement and school grades. However, once you join SAE, we also open for you other variety of scholarships. So this can go from the work study program, SAE academic achievement, SAE creative portfolio. So we'll also reward your work at SAE on an academic side, but also on a creative side. And there's also an alumni scholarship that we offer. Now, tell me if I'm going fast, or if you want me to, stop me at this point of time. It's okay, I'll continue. I think that you are all muted. Since we are part of the global, we have like a global presence, so we have university pathways, which means that students can start their education at SAE, and at a diploma level, which means after 3 trimesters, they can apply to through the university pathway to move to a different campus. So this is open for anywhere, any place in the world where we have an SAE campus. So you can move to London, you can move to Oxford, you can move to Brisbane, Melbourne, Australia. The students who have like a passion for audio, they would like to probably try Amsterdam, Berlin. So for all these campuses, we do have pathways. When it comes to the entry requirements, it's a very straightforward for SAE as a university. So because we are a university that focuses on the creative aspects, so we require, we just like request a successful completion of grade 12. Again, your academic achievement will enable you to get a scholarship. However, we don't specifically ask for very high grades. academically, because we know that sometimes students, they can be at school average, however, their creative skills are outstanding. So for those ones, also we recognize their creative achievement, and we assess a portfolio if they have, so that it might enable them to get a scholarship at SAE. So as I mentioned, it's just like accessing successful completion of grade 12 or grade 13. It depends on the curriculum that you are following. And we request an English proficiency certificate, which is like IELTS or TOEFL. But again, since you are a GEMS student, so all of you go to schools where the medium of instruction is English, so you can provide us with a letter from that school. Here are the enrollment requirements. Again, so the same as what we have mentioned before. And for student visa, so for you students who are based in UAE, you can just like request a service letter, and then your parents can still sponsor you. This is the university pathway, so similar as what I mentioned before. Orientation and welcome week. So once you are part of SAE by registering for a specific intake, so you are immediately added to our students' family, which means that you are taking part in all the activities that we have for our students and for the new enrolled students. So there are lots of events, workshops that you're going to be invited to. There will be webinars that also you can attend, so you can start like working on your skills, on some like expertise before even starting with your classes. And that's like a good opportunity for you to take. You will have access to our online library, and you can start doing your research when it comes to that. Students accommodation, I think that I will skip that part because you must be all living with your parents here. But in case you need to move out, we have UniNest. We work with UniNest, who are our accommodation partners, and it's mainly like for our international students. This is the university in terms of bachelor degrees. However, I would like also to mention, if you do have students who haven't completed their grade, who are not graduating now, I would like to introduce our youth camps. So SAE has also launched SAE Youth Academy, and with this Youth Academy, we cater and we design programs for students as young as 10 years old. So that can be like their first experience in the creative fields. So we have a big list of programs that we offer at SAE. We run them throughout the year. We are mostly known for our summer camps, because this is where the students, they come for major projects, let's say. So for example, if we have film, stop motion, animation, so they work on big projects that might take 3 weeks of their time, and they will come out with a production or like the first pieces of a portfolio. They use our equipment. They feel, so as you can see here in the picture, so yes, this is like a group of students who were working on a film, and they will have access to all the studios that we have. Of course, they will be supervised, but again, this is like an amazing opportunity for them. Now, because of all the circumstances that we are going through, so we have shifted all our operations online, and the same way as you are doing your virtual learning, so we are also offering virtual classes for bachelor degrees. And this is something that we are continuing with in June, because we do have in June intake, and as of September it can be a possibility. The same applies for our youth camps, where our camps now are running virtually. And it has been like an amazing experience to run camps on a different mode of delivery. So we have contacted up to now a stop motion camp, a design camp, and we are now running our 3D animation camp and filming camp remotely, let's say, or like virtually. And it's good to see how or the progress that the technology has been doing, it's offering us solutions so that no learning. So our new hashtag is like learning never stops with SAE. And I'm sure that this is the same with your schools, and this is the same thing with our camps. So let's, I'm sure that this experience that we are living now is a great teaching experience for us. This is my presentation. Let me know if you have any questions. In fact, I have a small video. I don't know if anyone is interested in animation. I'd like to hear from you. Are you able to unmute and ask me questions? Hello? Lena?
Hi, Christina.
Hello? Yes.
Yes, we can hear you. Hi, everyone.
Okay, and is there any question?
Because it's a small group, we encourage you to engage. So it's okay. You don't need to remain muted. You can unmute and engage and ask questions. Or type them in chat, whatever you're more comfortable with. It's up to you.
Anyone would like to ask questions? I'm not sure if I'm able to hear.
Yeah, I don't think any. Oh, there's
Hello,
Hisham.
can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can.
How do we apply for the camps?
How do you apply for the camps? Well, you can visit our website, or I can share now with Lena the information about it. So on the 29th of June, we will be of May, we will be rolling out the 3D animation and the film camp that will start. So you can see it on our website, and we will be glad. So it's a very easy, straightforward link where you can check the content and the activities that will be covered during those camps, and from there you can enroll. And even the prices for these camps are very, we are offering those camps at a very reasonable price for the time being. It's $750 for the virtual camp, 750 dirhams for a 6-session camp.
Okay.
What are you interested in?
Game development.
Okay, you're in which grade? Okay, so just like to brief you, within the games camp, so you will be creating your first games. In fact, it can start by imitating some games. So we're gonna teach you we will take the example of Mario Race game, and you will start by creating something similar. I'm sure that you have covered, for example, Scratch at school. So we'll do a brief introduction with Scratch so that we can move towards 3D Unity. Have you ever tried 3D Unity?
Yes, a bit. I'm not familiar with it, but yeah, I've tried.
Okay, have you created any game?
No.
No.
I tried
Okay.
to, but I didn't complete it. I didn't have time.
Okay, that's good. So you can start. So the games camp will be running in June.
Okay,
And
thank you.
also, because I have, yes, welcome. I have this document that I can, share with you. No, I'm having so many documents to share. I don't know why they kept on disappearing, but I can share with you the camp, the brochure, I can share it with Lena, and in fact you can put it on the portal of your different schools. Any other question?
Excuse me, I wanted to ask you something.
Yeah, go ahead.
On the website, I was checking, and there's this 3D animation short course. So this is the same activity which will be there in the camp.
So it's different. Can I know which grade are you?
Grade 11.
Grade 11. So for grade 11, we recommend that you take the camp. So it's different. In fact, the short courses are more advanced. I'm not sure, do you have like any background in animation, or you're just like a beginner?
Beginner.
Yeah, beginner. So we recommend that you start with the camp, because this is where you will learn the basics. So it's all about like fundamentals of drawing, of creating shapes, but then again to moving to animating those shapes. Script writing for animation is part of it. And it's good to start with the camp so that later on you can move to the animation short course. Now also, because so it's good you have been on our website, but I really invite you to follow us on Instagram or on Facebook. Instagram page is very interactive, and there are lots of opportunities and free webinars that we can offer you. So you can enroll in free activities that are mainly running virtual. Last Saturday, we had one session on drawing fundamentals, which is drawing fundamentals for 3D animation. And it was a webinar where we had 100 participants. But the nice thing about it is that it's pretty much engaging. So you can do your work and show it to the instructor that's running the session, and you can have like immediate feedback. We also run we run school competitions also. We had one where the results were announced on Sunday. It was Illustrate Your Dream. And we have announced the 3 winners, where we had like vouchers to be that were offered to them. It's really nice, like how the students engage, and we are so surprised to discover the talent that many of you have. So we even have our instructors, the ones who specialize in 2D, who were assessing, and they announced the winners.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, welcome. Do you want to see a short video on animation?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let me show you. So in fact, that was a small presentation of drawing fundamentals that are part of animation. So this is how you start. Working on your animation. Sorry, I think that we've gone through something else. Yeah, so this is how you start by learning the main fundamentals of drawing. So you adapt it on 2D, and from there you move to a 3D. But can you tell me that if you know like which software was used?
Photoshop.
Yeah, it's because you read it or you knew it?
I knew it.
Yeah, that's good. Yes, so this is like where the difference lies between 3D animation and 2D animation. So you can see that for 2D you rely a lot on Photoshop. So all your drawings or the shapes that you use, you do on 2D. Using Photoshop, and then whenever you want to move to 3D, this is where you rely on different softwares that can be mainly on 3ds Max, it can be Maya, it can be ZBrush. You are familiar with those?
Sorry, what?
You know about like 3ds Max, Maya, and ZBrush?
No, I haven't heard of it.
Okay, so yeah, so these are mainly for 3D animation. And this is like where I was mentioning that when you work on 2D and 3D, so the difference relies on the softwares that you use.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
and now the industry is more moving towards the 3D animation. Did any one of you visit SAE?
No, I haven't.
You haven't. Would you like to take a small virtual tour?
Yeah, sure, it's fine.
Let's go. Just 1 second. I'm a China support student at SAE Dubai. I hear you're interested in pursuing a degree in creative media. If so, you've come to the right place. SAE Dubai is the only dedicated degree-level creative media institute in the UAE. Our programs are focused and concentrated fully on the area of study, thereby allowing you to complete your degree faster and enter the industry sooner. SAE Dubai offers a very practical, hands-on style of learning. We believe students learn best when they spend most of their time creating. Let's take a little tour to get to know us a little better.
Good take. Hi, my name is Sami Qasim. I'm trimester 6 student at SAE Institute Dubai. SAE has helped me find a new avenue for my passion of music through their audio engineering. Our audio degree allows us to design our own projects in a friendly, relaxed atmosphere using industry standard equipment. Our class sizes are small, giving us more time with our lecturers and more time to build our portfolios. And cut, which is where we come in. I'm Daniel Freeman, and I'm a trimester 3 film student. I've always dreamt of making my own films, and SAE is equipped me with the knowledge on how to do so. Throughout our program, you'll get the opportunity to experience all different roles on a film production in order to help you determine which roles suit you best. The great thing about getting a degree in film is that you can apply the skills that you learned to a number of different types of production environments. You also get the opportunity to work with other students from different disciplines, like my friend Vishaka, who made this awesome film poster for me. Thanks.
I'm Rashaka from trimester 6 graphic design. We work on civilian real-life projects in our design studios. Projects like this poster, brand identity, advertising, and much more. We start building our portfolios from day one of the degree to individual and group projects, which help us develop our communication skills. Do you like it?
It's perfect. I think we're gonna have to listen in very different part. Hi, I'm Watashi Wally. I'm from trimester 6 and James are my SAE is the opportunity to learn that by providing you with industry standard technology. Not only do you get the opportunity to showcase, but we also get to publish them. Get this real world impact. Hey, it's my turn.
Hi, my name is Christian. I'm a trimester 4 student, and I've always been a huge fan of anime. SAE's animation combines project-based learning with an internationally experienced faculty, as well as the ability to choose from several specializations, including modeling, character animation, as well as visual effects.
We're also a part of a wider campus here in Knowledge Village, which includes food courts, restaurants, and coffee shops, including the Media City, which is the Middle East's very own media. The campus is also located at the heart of Dubai, with easy access to public transport, taxis, as well as shopping and other attractions. We hope you've enjoyed our little introduction to our campus, and we hope you make SAE your new home.
Yeah. So that was the short movie about SAE, the virtual tour. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, I did.
Great. I think that our session is ending now.
Oh, yeah.
Would you like to continue?
No, it's okay.
No, it's fine. If you have any questions, please let me know.
No, not really. I'm done with all of my queries.
Okay, great. Anyone else? The other four? Hello?
Thank you, Christina. I guess that's, if there aren't any questions, that's all for today.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. I'll be able to share some additional information with you regarding the camps. And if students from any specific school, they would like to have a demo session that we can run for a duration of 2 hours, we are glad to do so. So it's just like by gathering the topic that they would like to go for, we can have some of our instructors getting connected with them virtually, and we can run a demo session, skill-based activity.
Wonderful, thanks. Thank you, Christina. Thanks, everyone. We're going to be posting the webinar on My Path to Uni YouTube channel, so feel free to explore the videos on there.
Thank you, everyone.